A big round of applause for the guest. Thank you, sir.
Audience, please maintain silence. Kindly. Students.
Happy Independence Day, everyone. President of the school, Mr. Satyanarayan ji, Secretary of the school, Secretary of the school, Mrs. Vijaya ji, Mrs. Shrija Multani, school principal. Closer. Mr. Malikarjun ji, principal of the Masters PU College. Respected teachers, budding students and their parents. Namaste and kind greetings to all of you on the occasion of India's 75th Independence Day, which we are celebrating as our nation's Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav and adorning our homes, offices, schools, all institutions with our national flag under the Har Ghar Tiranga program. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to be invited to your school on this most auspicious day and our nation's flag that stands for freedom, dignity and respect. I must begin by telling you some things that some of us may not be aware of. I want to tell you something about your own country. A time has come when India has progressed and is continuing to progress. And India is on a path to possibly becoming a great superpower. I have a lot of things to tell you as I take my speech forward as to how we can make our country a superpower. For that we need to work hard. India is the planet's Earth's oldest, if you exclude the 19th and 20th centuries, we were the wealthiest civilization. We used to be known as the Sone ka Chidiya. That is why everybody wanted to invade India and plunder our wealth and take it home. The influence of ancient Indian history on the modern world is due to the many manifestations of Indian genius and the fact that the language people used was so logical that it nourished critical thinking on the fundamental unity underlying man's diversity. Up to the 17th century, the wealth in India was more than twice that of the rest of the world combined. Can you believe that? So many of our foundations of modern society, science, medicine, mathematics, metaphysics, religion, astronomy originated in India. We can call India the cradle of human civilization, the birthplace of speech, the mother of history and numerous languages, and the grandmother of legends and traditions. Indians invented the zero and the number system, one of the greatest innovations in history. The decimal system, the value of pi, trigonometry, algebra, calculus, and many mathematical concepts were all born in India. The largest number Greeks and Romans used was 10 to the power 6, but Indians used to, at that time, use numbers 10 to the power 53. So you can imagine what a great country we belong to. Albert Einstein once quoted about India. He said, "We owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discoveries could have been made." Sushruta was the father of medicine in the world, the first to invent the art of performing surgery with anesthesia. The first cesarean did not happen in Italy or in the Roman Empire. It happened in India, if you please. We should all feel very proud of our nation, isn't it? The first school of medicine, Ayurveda, was based on a systematic knowledge of plant-derived medicines and is practiced effectively even today. Many of us Indians, we speak Ayurveda naturally. When our children have a cold, we don't run to the doctor. Mother will say, have this, have that, have some herb. That is the kind of richness of our culture and our civilization. We all have it and we cannot afford to lose it. We need to have pride and bring back everything that we think we lost. It's not lost yet. A variation unknown to the schools of Alexandria and the Arabs. 4 of the world's greatest major religions, Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism and Jainism, originated in India. India's literary, artistic and philosophical contributions to the world are far greater than those of any other civilization in world history. Almost all religious, philosophical, mathematical theories taught by the Pythagoreans were known in India in the 6th century BC. Indian sages of philosophy were the prototypes of Greece, to whose works Plato, Thales and Pythagoras were disciples. The priests of Egypt and the sages of Greece drew directly from India. Nearly 2,500 years ago, Pythagoras went from Samos, an island in Greece, to the Indian Ganges to learn geometry. You can imagine, a Greek gentleman came all the way to India to learn geometry. And we have been taught in our history books that it is the Westerners who brought everything to this world. How sorry can they be? How silly could they be? We Indians actually stand out as a shining star in this universe. Indians invented yoga, the art of unifying and mind and body. Today it is practiced for its health benefits all over the world. The Chinese learned yoga and the martial arts that you saw just now, the karate, it all originated from India. The Chinese came to India, learned it in Kerala through the martial arts called Kalaripaitu. And from there they took it back and then it became Taekwondo and all the Kung Fu and various other things. So don't think that it is the Chinese origin, it is Indian in origin. Be proud of it. Indians also invented chess, snakes and ladders, buttons, high-grade steel manufacturing, which is unknown in those times, in these, to the Westerners. The art of navigation, gymnasiums, the universities, rocket artillery, and almost every geometrical instrument was made in India. The cultivation of cotton and jute, mining, the concept of gross domestic product, all have their roots in India. If there is one place where all of humanity's dreams have found a home from the very earliest days of existence, it is India. Modern Indians should understand the original scientific culture their ancestors developed, make use of modern technology to demonstrate their inborn abilities and strive for breakthroughs that will help all of society. And modern writers may need to rewrite the scientific books and history books after consulting Indian experts. Okay, our great kings, Prithviraj Chauhan, Chhatrapati Shivaji, Sambhaji Rao Peshwa, Raja Ravi Varma, and hundreds before and after them fought bravely against their Mughal detractors to preserve the honor, dignity of their women and children, our deep-seated traditions and culture and beliefs. So we owe it to them for keeping our culture alive. They gave everything to save our motherland. After the fall of the Mughal Empire, next was the fight for freedom from the British. It was a long and hard battle, and our freedom was won thanks to hundreds and thousands of our great freedom fighters. Many of whom even willingly, like Bhagat Singh, for example, who sacrificed their lives for their motherland. Some of our great freedom fighters like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Lal Bahadur Shastri, Vallabhbhai Patel, Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Chandrasekhar Azad, Dadabhai Nauroji, Tantiya Tope, Bipin Chandrapal, Lala Rajpat Rai, Ashfaqullah Khan, Nana Saheb, Sukhdev, Kanwar Singh, Mangal Pandey, and the list is endless. endless, ladies and gentlemen, and children. The names of the heroes I mentioned are a partial list of those whose freedom struggle came to the forefront. Millions of other citizens also played a role, but very passively and silently. So they also deserve our Shat Naman, our thanks to those who laid down their lives, fought so hard to get our birthright, our freedom back. Right. Last but not the least, and never the least, can we ever forget the Indian Armed Forces that ever since independence has, by their supreme sacrifices, then and now, safeguarded our nation's integrity, territorial integrity and freedom, be it on air or land or on sea. Some names like Major Somnath Sharma, Second Lieutenant Arun Ketrapal, Havaldar Major Piru Singh, Major Dan Singh Thapa, Havildar Abdul Hamid, Lance Nayak Albert Eka, Flying Officer Nirmaljit Singh Sekhan, Lieutenant Colonel A.B. Tarapur, Major Parmeshwaran, and two people that your generation might possibly remember in Kargil War, Captain Vikram Batra, Dil Mange More. You are there? So, these people, I have just named a few people who, there are many, many hundreds on this list, but I must tell you that your freedom today, the freedom that we have to do what we want, is not free. Somebody gave their life for it. Likewise, there are thousands of soldiers from our armed forces who have given their best and they continue to give their best. While we are sitting here and enjoying our Independence Day celebrations, there are people sitting in Siachen Glacier where the temperature is minus 52. Minus 52. I myself was in the submarines underwater. There are many Independence Days when I was somewhere not celebrating like this, but underwater somewhere guarding the nation. We must thank our soldiers who fight on the highest battlefields, who fly daredevil missions, like the great Wing Commander Abhinandan, who shot down an F-16 with a age-old MiG-21 aircraft, which even today nobody believes that it could happen. So we have such kind of warriors who have kept our country really safe. On this great occasion of our 75th independence, let's say again, Shat Naman to our armed forces soldiers of all the three services, who are veterans who give, and veterans like me who still continue to serve in our own capacity. They say a soldier never dies, he only fades away. So for soldiers, we never retire actually, we just re-attire. That means we wear a different, we don't wear our uniforms anymore, we wear clothes like this after retirement. Let us also salute all our countrymen who serve as doctors, engineers, teachers, scientists, nurses, professors, artists, writers, spiritual gurus, and even housewives, both male and female, who serve our nation with unfailing devotion. And let us not forget to thank all those COVID warriors, the people who volunteered at the cost of even losing their own life. And you know something, for a population of 130 crores, I think India came out doing extremely well. Extremely well. Never take your freedom for granted. Don't think freedom is free. Freedom is not free. If you are not vigilant, you can lose your freedom. That's what happened to us more than 1,000 years ago. Somebody is always doing something for ensuring your freedom. Coming to teachers. Teachers, you are the second lot of teachers for these students because they spend almost 1/3 of the time in school. So you have to be an example for your children. Don't compare two children and don't make comparisons and say he is better than you. Never do it. Be patient with children. Sometimes there might be a child who is slow in learning. That is fine. It's okay. It happens. But I can tell you something. The result of an examination does not show what or tell you what that child will be in the future. It only shows that the child, where the child's mind was during those examination hours. It is as simple as that. In my school days, we used to call the people sitting at the back as LLB, Lord of the Last Bench. But you'll be surprised that most of the LLBs are the ones who actually do well in life, not the front benchers always. So don't go by the marks, because there are some children who can mug up and reproduce things. That doesn't show his intelligence. What you do with your knowledge after you're finished with school or college or anything, how do you apply knowledge? That's the most important thing. Right. So teaching is a noble profession. Teachers, don't look at your teaching as a job. Do it as if you're teaching your own child, and you will see that children actually brighten up. Give children a chance to express themselves. They're children, they're innocent. Don't judge them too early. They're all beautiful, they're all wonderful, and they are the future of this nation. All these children are going to be living in a country that will be a superpower very, very soon. Remember that a class topper is not necessarily the next Jagdish Chandra Bose or a space scientist like Vikram Sarabhai. Great mark sheets don't make for great marksmen. Marksmen means shooters. Finally, for the students, if they are listening, I think they're all enjoying their Independence Day. Eat healthy food, avoid fast food. And parents, please ensure that your children eat healthy food, not fast foods too much, because that affects their health. Children, be kind and respectful to your parents, your teachers, and be kind to your classmates and fellow beings. Work as a team. Do not be a slave of your mobile. Mobiles also need rest sometimes. They also need to sleep. We don't allow our mobiles to sleep, do we? Be thirsty for knowledge and read good books. Read books that inspire you. Read books about people, our own great heroes of our country, our own scientists. There is so much. I don't know if all of you have seen a movie called Rocketry, which has just released, about the space scientist Nambi Narayan. Read such kind of books which inspire you, because that inspiration is what is needed to make our country move forward. Watch good movies, have good friends, and that's it. You will be a wonderful citizen of this country. To finally sum up, I won't take more of your time. I just would like to just say a few points to everybody here. Just remember, I just reiterate what I just said. Our freedom was won in a very hard way. It did not come to us easily. Respect your freedom. Don't take your freedom for granted. Don't litter on the road. Don't throw garbage on the road. Put everything into the dustbin, because even that is a contribution to your country. I have never met. We are very intelligent. We are capable of many things. We can send satellites to the space with such accuracy. Then why do we feel small about ourselves? I want every one of you to feel good. I want every one of you to feel that Indianness. If somebody asks you, where are you from? You must say, I am from India. You're from India first, then you're from Karnataka, then you are Christian, then you are whatever creed or caste or color. We are Indians first, right? So we have to have that spirit. If someone asks you tomorrow, where are you from? Say India, because I am an ex-armed forces man. I never say I'm from Karnataka or this place or that place. I belong to my country. So always say I'm an Indian first. If they ask you anything more, then you can tell them I'm from so-and-so place. So be proud of being Indians, guys. Let's all come together and make our nation really, really great. And let's be happy that we have completed our 75 years of independence. And we are moving fast. And let's all contribute. All of us Indians can contribute in some way or the other and make this nation truly great. So I'm going to say, Bharat Mata Ki! Bharat Mata Ki! Bharat Mata Ki! Vande! 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 Great. So namaste, guys. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be with you and tell you something about our country and make you all feel very proud today that we are Indians. You saw in the Commonwealth Games how well our Indians have done. You can see how we are improving in sports. There was a time we never even got a bronze medal. And today we have come back with more than 22 odd gold medals. All you young children here are tomorrow's sportsmen, tomorrow's scientists, tomorrow's astronauts, tomorrow's great leaders. And let's all put our hands together and say, we got to make our Bharat a Mahabharat, a great country. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.